Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, March 31st. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Byron Scott. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, a man was rushed to the hospital after being stabbed outside of the Addison Road Metro Station in Capitol Heights. A spokesperson for the transit agency says the incident happened after what appears to be an argument. The suspect is still on the loose. Denise Douglas has that story.
At the height of rush hour this morning, as commuters hurried in and out of the Addison Road Metro Station to get to their destinations, is when it happened.
Where there was an altercation between the newspaper vendor, the gentleman who hands out the free newspapers here in front of the station, and a 24-year-old victim. That escalated to a physical altercation right on the sidewalk.
That's when the newspaper man allegedly stabbed the 24-year-old victim in his left side, according to Metro spokesman Dan Stessel. After being stabbed, the victim was rushed to a hospital and the suspect fled. But it was all caught on surveillance video, which will be key to tracking him down.
And if I can just turn and point out behind you, you've got cameras on the exterior, 1, 2, and then there's an inside camera that can see out as well. And so at least 3 camera angles here that captured the incident. So great HD video to help us identify the suspect and bring him to justice.
What was this all about?
We don't know yet.
As far as service, it was not affected. Some passengers still expressed concern.
And I am concerned, but with the presence of the Metro operators and the people in the kiosk and the Metro police, I feel a little better. There's no 100% guarantee that you'll be safe, but that is a help in our transit.
Just feel like we need a little bit more help with security and things. Definitely.
Do you think Metro needs to do a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's too many people going in and out, and without any real security measures already, that we need the presence of more security.
Even though Metro has been repeatedly criticized for safety and other issues, Stessel said the stabbing should be viewed as an isolated incident and not a cause for alarm.
This happened to occur on a sidewalk on Metro property, but it could have just as easily occurred, across the street on that same sidewalk on the opposite side. The difference at a Metro station is that there are cameras everywhere, and so we're going to they're going to be very helpful in resolving this case.
Denise Douglas, CTV News.
Again, police are still looking for the suspect in the stabbing. You can give them a call if you know anything about the incident.
A community is mourning the loss of a 15-year-old Largo High School student who was gunned down over the weekend. Yesterday evening, Devonte Washington's family held a vigil at the Deanwood Metro Station in the district where he was killed Saturday afternoon. Investigators say he was shot by 17-year-old Maurice Bellamy, who is being held without bond. In honor of Washington, attendees held carnations, and those who knew him spoke about the good times they had together and also called for an end to gun violence.
Spent time with the family, and we're going to continue to support them, but we're also committed to deepening our roots in the community as a government with the kinds of services that we think will make a difference.
A GoFundMe account has been set up to help Washington's family with the funeral expenses.
And advocates for a measure that would increase penalties for drunk drivers show their support for legislation passed in both the House and Senate. Mad Maryland law enforcement officials and others joining Lowell Liotta's family in Annapolis this afternoon to push for the stronger version of the 2 bills. Officer Liotta was killed after being struck allegedly by Luis Ray Lusco. Ray Lusco has been charged with manslaughter by automobile and failure to move over for an emergency vehicle.
The ideal outcome for an arrested drunk driver should be a 180-day license suspension coupled with a 180-day interlock period. At minimum, we clearly support the more effective Senate version that require a 90-day license suspension with a 90-day interlock period.
The House version has opportunities to evade getting the interlock on the car. There are methods if they say we do not want to take the test, to take the BAC test, then essentially the way it's set up, you can go on a suspension for, I think, 270 days or go on an interlock for a year. Well, people are going to say, I'm going to take the suspension. And guess what? They're going to drive.
The bills now go to conference committee to work out differences between the 2 versions.
Meantime, paid sick leave legislation passes a major hurdle in the House Economic Matters Committee last night, and now it heads to the full chamber. The bill would require employers to provide 1 hour of leave for every 30 hours worked, up to a maximum of 7 days a year. Progressive advocates were celebrating and lobbying outside of the State House this morning.
People are here today to celebrate the fact that the earned sick leave legislation got out of the Economic Matters Committee late yesterday and is headed to the House floor. This is the first time in 4 years of pushing this legislation that it's made it out of committee, and for all intents and purposes, it's headed for a final vote for passage in the House.
The measure would allow all employees who work more than 8 hours a week to earn paid sick leave. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Byron Scott.